Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the Econobox garage. Come on inside where it's a little bit warmer. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 100 in our Bugeye Build. Before I get started on this week's video, I would just like to say thank you to those of you who have subscribed and have followed along this build from the very beginning. It's been very encouraging to read your comments, to hear from you via email or telephone, and your encouragement and participation in this project is very much appreciated. And again, I'd just like to say thank you to those of you who have followed along, have subscribed, and have commented. So in this 100th episode, I'm getting the car ready for polishing it. As you may recall from last video, I had some repairs to make, so those are in progress, but you'll see that as the video comes on. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. A couple of episodes ago, I showed you where I installed the LED lighting in the garage. That's had a bit of a domino effect in that it created issues with the camera I've been using for a lot of my shots. It's an older Canon, it's an older Canon PowerShot, and what happens is I get a bunch of pulsing from the lights on the what I would consider the best setting on that. I'll post a little bit of a video up in the corner here that you can see, and I could adjust the frame rate on it, but it would reduce the quality of the video. And I'll put that in here as well. So I started looking at cameras, and it turned out to be pretty expensive. So what I'm using when I'm not using the Canon camera is my phone. So rather than buy a new camera with better settings, and I just decided to spend about, I think it was $30 or $24 Canadian, and I bought this Cobratech Unimount 360 tripod mount for smartphones. So basically, you have the mount, and you put your phone in, tighten it down like so, and that holds the phone securely, and then the camera's facing out the back. One of the nice things about this product is it includes a Bluetooth shutter control that works on both iOS cameras and Android. And seeing as this is an Android, that is that, and I've tested it out. It works quite well. And I'll just get this mounted up on the tripod to show you the end result. So there we have the camera mounted on the tripod. And I'll just turn the camera on. And I'll use the Bluetooth to take a picture. And there we go. Now that I have that sorted out, I can get back to work on the car. If you're interested in this mount, I'll put a link in the description below. Well, it's been a day or so the putty has had a good time to set up. So I'm going to get out the 400 grit and wet sand these spots. There's this one here, and then on the back, there's this spot here. Pretty sure a couple of these spots will need a quick shot of primer. Then I can sand that back and then do all the adjustments I need with the spray paint. Looks like I'm going to have to do a bit more spot putty in this spot here. This one is fine. And up here, I'm going to have to put some more in this spot here. And then the spot on the back here is just fine. So I'll get that little bit of spot putty to put in, let it sit for a while, and then come back later and finish up the sanding. All right, the second coat of spot putty is dried up and ready to sand. So there's the one here and the one here. So I'll get to work on those and then get to the primer and the finish. Well, I've got this sanded down now and cleaned up. And I'm just going to shoot this spot here, this one here, this one here, and then the one on the back here, and one down here with a shot of high build primer. What I'm going to do, so I don't have to worry about masking off and getting way too much overspray, and that I just cut a piece of cardboard with a bit of a hole in it, and I'll just spray through that, and that'll help me to kind of direct where the primer's going on each of these spots. So we'll see how that works and then move on from there. So progress is being made. I've got the spot over here sanded back from the high build primer. Same with this spot over here and the one on the back of the car, which is right about there. Got this sanded down now, and I'm quite happy with how that's filling in. I've got some high build primer on that spot and on the spot underneath. So I'm going to wait for that to set up, get it all sanded down and smooth, and then I think we can move on to the next phase. Right, this is the driver's door for left-hand drive cars. It's been sanded down with 1000 grit and 2000 wet sanded, and to the touch it is very, very smooth. So I'm going to get to polishing that in a moment, but I just thought I'd show you the before. This is the other door, and I haven't done anything to this door here, and you can see in the reflections there's a lot of orange peel. So this is where I started, and this is after wet sanding with both 1000 and 2000 grit. What I'm using for polish is this Rupes rotary coarse, and it says right on the package, correction of paint scratches and P1500 sanding marks. So I'm at P2000, so it should be pretty good. This is recommended to me by the staff at Global Auto Body Supplies here in Calgary. And again, I'll put a link to their site in the description below. So I put a couple of dabs on my polisher, and this is a fairly economical one, just from Princess Auto here in Canada. I think Harbor Freight's would be the equivalent of Harbor Freight in the US. And it's just a random orbital sander, nothing too fancy. And again, I'll put a link to this in the description below. Now, I've deliberately left this door unsanded, and you can see by the reflections of the lights here that there is quite a bit of orange peel. Let's go over here. There's quite a bit of orange peel, and that's what I've been dealing with on the car as a whole. If you look over in the corner here, you can see that's about what the majority of the car is. So this door has not been sanded. And then if we go to this door here, you can see the reflections are a lot straighter. They're not perfect and not to show car quality shine. But this has been sanded with 1000 and 2000, and I've been giving it one go over with polish. And you can see the reflections there are a lot crisper than on the other door. So that's going to give you a kind of an idea of the before and after. So I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. It's got to where the kind of quality that I want. I'm going to again go over it again with the polisher. I've been using the pads that came with the car, or pardon me, I've been using the pads that came with the polisher, but I am going to see if I can find something of a better quality than these to finish everything off. These seem to do the basic trick okay, but we'll see what happens as we go forward. Well, that wraps up episode 100. I'm so glad you could join me. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to share it with your friends, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget that little bell icon. Click on that and you'll get notified when the next video comes out. And if you want to get caught up, I'll put a link to last week's video up in the corner over here so you can catch up. My name is Ian. This is the Econobox Garage. We'll see you next time.